Hey, I'm Steve Sapato, and you don't want to be a boring speaker, do you? I got a whole program out called Stop Boring Speakers, Stop Boring Presenters. Are you one of them? Everybody will tell you they are not. But you know what? If nobody is a boring speaker or presenter, why do we see so many of them? Isn't that curious on our parts? So, what I want you to know is most of us are boring. Most of us. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And so, let me give you a quick rundown so that you can at least look into what might make you boring. First of all, you have to have energy. You have to produce energy right there on the stage or right there in your meeting or right there at your presentation. You have to be energetic. You have to promote yourself in a way that people want to listen to you. I mean, there's all kinds of, we'll go into all kinds of other stuff like how do you start a talk? How do you do this? But I'm just talking about not being boring right now. So you want to have energy and you want to have direct contact with your audience. Direct meaning you want eye contact, you want to be able to see people, and you want to look at them. You ever been to a giant venue with a concert and the people really make you think that they're looking right at you? Yeah, that's the kind of thing. So whether you're talking to 20 people at a meeting, 5 people at a meeting, or 500 people at a meeting, you want to make sure that you make that contact and those gestures that do all that stuff. And that's the third thing. You want to make sure the gestures reach out to the people in your audience. And those are the things that start a great presentation. And then of course you have to have pace and rate. When I was growing up and I heard that in a conversation with people, they said you have to have pace and rate. I went, what does that mean? To me, they're interchangeable because what if I was talking to you like this? And then there's other people who talk, I have 5 words in a sentence, and then I have a pause, and then I have 5 words in a sentence. And then I listened to a guy talk that way the other day, and I wanted to hear his information, but it was so hard to focus because he talked like this, and then he talked like this, and then he would say something else. And you were like, just keep talking. And of course, one of the things you have to have is questions. You have, do you know that if you ask somebody a question, they have to answer it? No, I don't mean they have to answer it. As a human, as a person, we answer questions when people ask them, even if it's in our heads. If you say, hey, what's your name? You immediately think, hey, I'm Steve Sapato. You may not spew it out, but that's what you think. So you have to make sure you ask questions. And I don't mean questions that are rhetorical, like, what are you, stupid? Those are those are questions that people don't really want to answer. And you probably shouldn't ask them like that because they're not really questions, they're accusations. You've been in arguments where people say stuff like that. They ask a question, but it's really an attack upon your character. Then you also have to have confidence in what you're saying. Confidence. You have to exude confidence. You can't stammer and stutter and ams and uhs and all that other stuff. So it is one of those things where you have to have that information. And of course, oh, excuse me, the thing that I talk about all the time is people say, you've got to tell a story. Boring. How many times have you sat at the beginning of a webinar and somebody told a 20 or 30-minute personal story that was supposed to give you their history, their background, to show, hey, look what I went through and you can do it too? No, don't do that. Don't tell your story unless you know how to tell it. And I'm here to say that I coined a phrase called storytizing. You need to learn storytizing. That's absolutely important. It's you have to have storytizing. And what that means is you're telling your story, but you're using their memories, their emotions, and their experiences to tell the story. If somebody's using you as an example, you pay attention, don't you? And so you have to learn how to do that. Otherwise, people just tell a story. Hey, I was out driving around the other day and I went to the grocery store and, I went into the grocery store and ran into a couple people who were, not dressed correctly and boring as heck. Boring. Tell the story like you're telling a story from their point of view. Ask them questions. Ask them if they've ever been here. Ask them if they've ever experienced this. Ask them how to share that. Boom, you get it. Okay. So those are the things. Storytizing is going to absolutely change your success. And so when I put you into this stop boring meetings, you have to understand that it's all about them. And once you learn to do that, you can't help but hire me as the person who's going to help you become the very best presenter at any meeting or any event that you are ever going to speak in front of. I'm Steve Sapato, and I hope you have a fantastic day. God bless.